Okay, so here's part 3 of Duality, Pursuit. As you can see, we're starting in the closing set of the ballad. The only thing that might be a little different is Megan and I talked about this. This form during the last few sets of the ballad might reshuffle, depending on whether or not certain performers are actually going to be in the color guard for the ballad, and if we want to potentially restage them a little bit to make the transition that's about to happen a little bit easier. It's pretty straightforward. The only thing that's missing from the animation are some of the turns backfield and front field. I'll try and narrate through them. But like I said, pretty straightforward. And so here we go. So as I said, color guard's going to be feeding out a little bit tough coming out of that form. That's going to happen backfield with the exception of the first attack. As we open into this section, tubas are going to turn front field. And as the different sections add in, they're going to be turning front field. So we're adding another section here. Front field, pass through right back there, winds and battery. Shouldn't be a problem. Adding in, build into this sort of breakout hit right here. And that's going to be a turn backfield. Going into this section that I kind of think of as a fugue. Not really a fugue, but we're adding on winds to the visual form as well as the musical phrase. As the sections add, they'll be turning front field. So here come the trumpets and the mellophones. This looks very complicated, but it's really just a conveyor belt. 4x4, each 4 counts to hit a corner. Pretty straightforward. Forward and backward through that move. This is a straight up reshape. We can choose to do this backwards if we want. Relatively long phrase. Hold 2. You see we're looking at duality idea. We have the two forms, two kinds of forms. Again, looks like a very complicated thing that's happening right there, but it's really just 4x4 diamond cutters. Move 4, forward and backward, right around the end of the form. Pretty straightforward. Not really sure why the battery jumped back at that very last set. They should be not. They should be there. Staging them a little bit further forward for the end of. For the beginning of part 4. So, like I said, pretty straightforward. I think it looks a little bit more complicated than it actually is. I think it's very achievable. The only thing that we might have to play with is that very first move where the color guard transitions out from inside the block to the little rays emanating out from the center of that cross shape that the winds are making. And we can play with that both in the beginning of part 3 and at the end of the ballad to make sure that the guard is aligned in a way that makes the most amount of sense. So that's it. Let me know if there's any questions.